Good morning, Panther fans. Welcome to the first ever live review with Jaws and Stu for the members and Patreon supporters. And how we'll probably run this is we'll do our shtick first 15, 20 minutes, whatever it takes us, and then engage with some comments after that. So, I normally text my father during the games, and usually we text when Panthers score. And I can't remember, when was the last time he got shut out? I'm sure somebody has that stat around here. How you doing, Stu? Good morning.
Been a while. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another year of torture here on Flying Fluffy Hockey, the number one Panther fan podcast in the world. This is something new. We got how many people are on with us?
Oh, it's just Gators Tim. How you doing, Tim? Right now, it's just one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as more people, are made aware of this, we'll hopefully have a chat and some questions and stuff.
Most people are, getting ready
Sleeping?
for work. Yeah, well, or getting ready for work, or on their way to work, or they're already at work.
Okay.
Not everybody is bums like us where we find ways to just stay home and make money.
Anyway, let's sum up game one.
Yeah.
Gustafson.
Yeah.
Just unreal.
Look, he was good. I'm not going to take anything away from him. There's always the debate. Is it a poorly placed shot or was the goalie in perfect position? Right.
Some of them were right in his belly and, right in his glove and this and that.
Right.
But, I'm very pleased with the way we played in the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
When Minnesota, how many thousands of times have we done this where we come out like gangbusters and then bang, bang, we make a, bad play. In this case, just a seeing eyeball shot from the point, and Bob lets it in. I looked at it a few times and thought maybe he should have had it, but okay. So then we go down 1-0 and, we get a little bit of the air out of the balloon. And then, of course, things changed when they made it 2-0. Oh, when Mackey hit the post.
Yeah, he's the one guy that beat. Yeah, he's the only guy that really beat Gustafson the whole night.
Yeah.
And, I don't even know how it didn't go in. It hit the bottom part of the crossbar. How does it not go in? And dinged back out like hardcore, man.
Well, that would have been, poetic justice because I thought out of all the players on the ice, he was probably my number one pick.
Yeah.
I thought Barkov had a good game. All right, so let's address the elephant in the room because I know you want to talk about it because we've been texting about it. So give me your theory on Matthew Tkachuk.
Okay, so I mentioned this in the recap last night. And, all summer long on the podcast, I've been, how can this dude be 100%? How? Really? Come on, man. And so I watched with maybe a bit of a critical eye, but I watched him away from the puck. And at least 3 times, remember when he knew he was hurt and Vegas was trying to hit him and he would kind of move that shoulder out of the way to kind of protect himself a little bit. He's still doing it. Not when he's got the puck, but I watched him when the puck would leave and somebody would go near him. I wasn't watching the puck. I was watching Tkachuk, and he's either still feeling it or it's mental. Now, he had a good game. He had 1 million shots and all of that. So, but he's heavily avoiding contact instead of heavily initiating contact. So,
well, he's been doing that back end hit kind of sort of, where he turns.
Right.
He's been doing that for a while. So I don't know if you're relating that to what you're talking about. I don't know. He looked fine to me. I just, we had our chances. We certainly had our chances. We blew a few chances, but like I said, I thought, we came out really strong and could have had a couple of goals. That would have been the time, before Gustafsson got in a groove. These goalies, man, they get in a groove and then it's just mental. Then it's just, unless, we score on a tip in or a rebound or, off a defenseman's skate or some bullshit like that. When the goalie's seeing the puck, we had 41 shots.
Right. Look, the thing that surprised me, honestly, was the response when the Wild made it 2-0. I expected, okay, we're going to turn it on now. And instead, they made it 3-0, but, they were an inch off sides. You know what I mean? So I wasn't thrilled with the response when we went down 2-0. We had such great energy to start the game.
I even said to you after that 2-0 that Minnesota started taking it to us. Like they started playing with a lot of confidence. So, just, it's one game. It would have been nice to start off this special season with a win, but wasn't meant to be. So let's go down the lineup and analyze some people. All right.
Well, we got a couple of comments about that. Just want to say, hey, AJ, Rosado, Tim, and Tim says, Rosado says worst player on the ice was Sam Reinhart, and then Tim says Sam and Maddie was MIA.
Sam and who?
Sam and Maddie. Matt Tkachuk. Maddie.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm not going to say he was MIA. I thought he played a decent game. I think Bennett was a big miss.
Right.
Having him not in the lineup,
right,
is big, especially for Tkachuk, especially on that power play. To me, it's. Obviously, I'm getting used to Rodriguez, but he's no Sam Bennett. All right. So, if any of you guys have questions, shoot away. But I just have this in my mind now. So, Oliver Ekman-Larsson, solid.
Yeah.
Real solid. Mikkola, really like that guy. The kid from Latvia, Belinkis, he played a decent game. He had I think 4 or 5 shots.
Yeah.
And then Mahura, Mahura's Mahura. How many games do we go where we don't even mention him, but he's out there.
Right.
And then Forsling is Forsling. But I thought Kulikov, looked comfortable back there. As far as the defense goes, again, I thought they played a good game. I won't say a great game.
Look, we held them under 30 shots. We gave up a long shot that was a seeing eye puck and a 4-on-3. And that was my issue with Kulikov. That was a stupid tripping penalty. It's already 4-on-4. There was no reason to do that.
Yeah.
And that hurt because they never scored again. So instead of getting into that third period going, hey, we just need 1 to get a point, 2 is different than 1, especially when this team is a little bit shortchanged,
I agree.
But, I said this to you before the game, and nothing changed my mind. I want Mahura on that second pair. Mikkola Kulikov is not the pair. They're too similar. I know Maurice wants to go with the veteran guys, but I think you need to have Mahura's energy on that second pair, and then Kulikov with Belinskas. That's just my take on it.
Okay.
But it's tough, man. I mean, we haven't played a game like that in a regular season, certainly to start the season in quite some time. I mean, it was just the whole stream was just abject frustration of just disbelief that it won't go in, it won't go in. It was just chance after chance after chance. And then I thought Semeskovich was going to put that puck in. But yeah, Maurice moved him up to that second line when he tightened up the bench. He moved him up. What'd you think about the fourth line? Because I said this in the recap last night that Stenlin, Lorentz, and Lomberg is no stall with Cousins and Lomberg.
Yeah, I was getting there. Not impressed at all. I thought Lomberg looked lost out there. He normally makes a play a game that is one of those plays that, could turn a game. And,
right.
Listen, they've only been together a couple of weeks. Let's just be realistic here. So, hopefully they'll get better. I like Stenlin as a player.
Right.
I mean, his loss of the face-off, and I texted you, not only did he lose it, but he lost it clean.
Right.
And that, that led up to that, that first goal.
Yeah.
Well, the second goal, I don't even remember. But face-offs are so important when you're on the power play in the offensive zone.
Right.
We've been on the on the winning end of a Barkov clean win. I remember one game where Barkov won like 4 in a row like that. Remember?
Yeah.
He won like 4 face-offs in a row back to the point. Here's a game where we're missing Montour.
Yeah, and that's something else too. AJ says OEL looked good. Rosado too much passing on the power play. Minnesota was just doing a really good job of clogging up the middle.
Yeah, well, they didn't do it in the beginning of the game, but once they got the lead, they tightened it up. Or maybe the next period it came out. So obviously the coaching staff was looking at video and they made adjustments. They weren't like that in the beginning.
Well, I tell you, I think, and this is one game, but teams might figure, you know what, without Ekblad, without Montour, those heavy shots from the blue line might not be coming. So they're going to kind of give us that and clog up that middle instead. That might be somebody on that defense, somebody on that defense is going to have to make teams respect our possible shots from that blue line before they give us the middle of the ice. And without Bennett there, and Tkachuk wasn't really mixing it up. He did this in the preseason too. And this I know people might be sick of me saying it. This kind of plays into my thought that he's not 100%. In the preseason as well, and I know he normally goes behind the net. I know that's his office and everything, but nobody was really in front of the net last night, getting physical, jockeying for position. Nobody was.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you might listen. You might be right. You might be right on that. I mean,
it could be mental. It could be mental.
A broken sternum is just like such a weird injury,
Right.
I mean, if anybody's had broken ribs, I mean, I've had broken ribs. I mean, you can't put a cast on it,
right?
And it hurts like a mother, right. That.
And even when it heals, you do certain things. You always feel that little, you know what I mean. And so it might be he's 100%, but he still kind of feels it, and so mentally he's a little bit. Because I mean, either he has employed a new strategy or not, because he was definitely. They were trying to rough him up and goad him into taking penalties. I mean, the one time they knock him on his ass in front of the net, and he's just laying there, and the Wild player is just dragging him away.
Yeah,
it was, and then Foligno lays him out when Tkachuk's just standing there. And if you watch that hit, when Tkachuk is standing there right by the boards, and Foligno is coming up to him. Watch what Tkachuk does with his shoulder. He's like that
All
same
right.
shoulder. So maybe I'm making too much of it, and maybe it's just mental for him, which I can't blame him. Look, when running backs come back from knee injuries and stuff like that, they all talk about how they're physically ready, but it takes them a few games to get into things because they're always worried, that they'll feel that scar tissue move a little bit and they'll be like, oh shit, did I bust it again?
Yep.
So it's possible that that's what the situation is. Yeah, Rosado kind of agrees. AJ says he wants to see Chucky in front of the net in the power play. Yeah, he was behind the net.
Well, that's like you said, that's his office. That's the
Right.
the Gretzky spot.
Right.
And the only thing is, him continuing to try and find Reinhardt in front. I mean, Reinhardt's got two guys draped over him.
Right.
And there were again at least 3 or 4 times where I saw Barkov could have gone in a few steps and just roofed it. That's another thing.
Yeah.
I didn't see anybody really roofing it other than that Mackey shot. Trying to beat the goalie up high.
Right.
And again, specifically when they're in tight. Like on that power play, they had a number of chances where, maybe if they roof it, he doesn't make the save. I'm thinking right now, and again, this is just my opinion.
Right.
I thought Mackey was the best player out there.
Yeah.
Here's a kid, his first official NHL game, and, he might have thrown up and had butterflies before the game, but he certainly looked comfortable.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him on the top line with Barkov. I don't see that, Goldie talked about how, or Randy, no, I think it was Goldie talked about Rodriguez and Barkov and their chemistry and whatnot.
Right.
I didn't see it. Sorry. But I'd like to see Mackey get a shot.
Rodriguez reminds me of Mike Matheson. Now, I know they're different players, different positions, but with Matheson, you knew he had the talent. You saw that he could be capable, but he was so all over the place trying to do so much that sometimes he did too much. I see the same thing with Rodriguez. He's so active, which you want your players to be active, but he's like noticeably just all over the place and sometimes overskating the puck. The puck, he had one in the preseason. He had one again last night on the power play. He's on that left-hand side and he's crying that cross ice pass right along the blue line and it's getting intercepted. That can't happen. Because then they're off to the races the other way. So,
see, he's another player. He was in the the Ekblad Stamkos Ovechkin spot,
right,
with the one-timer. That again would have been a perfect opportunity to roof it or to try and roof it.
Well,
if not, bang it off the goalie's pads for a rebound. I saw at least 2 or 3 times where he just shot it right in Gustafson's belly. Easy save.
Yeah.
I guess time will tell. Again, first game, no need to panic.
Right.
If they had come out flat and came out with no effort,
right,
then we could bitch.
Yeah.
I mean, what is that? What else is there to bitch about last night?
And I mean, Bob was fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, Bob, 9 times out of 10, we played that game last night, we get 2 points.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the shot clock. There's 5 minutes left. The shots are 39-21, and we're losing 2-0.
Yeah, and half of those shots for Minnesota were on the power play.
Right.
I mean, when they scored their first goal, it was 10-3.
Yeah.
So we definitely did the job there. I'm sure.
All right, Rosado.
I'm sure some little tweaks here and there, but again, my takeaway from that game is this kid's good and he's only going to get better.
Yep.
It's just a question of who does he have the best chemistry with. And I don't know if they've tried him out with Barkov and Verhage, who did puck hog a little bit last night. We shall see.
Right. Yeah, nothing to be concerned. We won't see the full picture until Bennett comes back.
Right. And again, just like the end of last season, when Bennett was out all those games, and you could like Lusterinen in the finals.
Right.
Losing a key guy like that is huge.
Yeah, it's tough. It's
tough. And not only because of the players, capabilities, the line chemistry is all jumbled up.
Right.
So anyway, we'll see. But other than that, what was your take on, Mikkola and
Balinskis? I liked Mikkola's game. I liked Balinskis' game. We gave up 2 goals, and neither one of them were really defensive breakdowns. It's 4-on-3 on a power play. Somebody's going to get open, right? Honestly, the only guy that on defense that I was kind of queasy about was Kulikov. But he's Kulikov. He's going to be what he is. He should be on the bottom pair. Mahura should be on that second pair. That's really the only thing that I saw I saw it before the game, and nothing changed my mind. And we're going to miss Eric Stahl because honestly, he was just such a smart player, and you could put him in anywhere. Like, it wouldn't have been a guarantee that would have been Lusterinen at 2C last night. That might have just been Stahl at 2C to just, have things settled down. So,
Eric Stahl or Mark Stahl?
Eric.
Yeah,
Eric.
And we miss his face-off ability.
Yeah, right. No,
those
I think
those key draws.
And I know it's one game. I know we're not going to do it, but he's still out there. He's still out there. I was surprised that we didn't decide to bring him back unless he didn't want to come back or something.
I don't know why he wouldn't.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Tim, we disagree. He played well in some spots, but he lost his man going into the boards, which is what led to the puck coming out for the 3rd goal that didn't count. And he took the tripping penalty that led to the 4-on-3 power play. So
you got to remember, Kulikov was never a superstar for us,
right?
Or else he wouldn't have gotten traded, in the first place.
Right.
He's a decent player. Right. Obviously, he's getting up there in age, so he's not, as quick as he once was, but he doesn't have to play great every game. He just has to do his job. And
yeah, I'm not saying he was bad. I'm just saying out of the defensemen, he was the only one that I saw, that I thought
as our weak link.
Well, what my concern is that he's on the second pair, right? So does that mean when Ekblad and Montour come back that Mahura and Balinskis are going to be out? Because Mahura should not be taken out. So I don't know what Maurice is thinking. I'm not saying that in a critical way. I don't know what his thinking was there with. Maybe he thinks more of Mahura and he wanted Mahura to be with Balinskis because it was his first NHL game. You know what I mean?
Well, let's not think about that because we got a couple of months.
Yeah.
Now, I have a feeling, Montour might be back sooner than later.
Right.
But we'll see.
Yeah.
I actually don't know. I'm going to go back and say I don't think Forsling had his best game. Forsling's, but there's games when he has stepped it up, probably on the offensive side more than the defensive side.
Right.
Yeah.
Look, I saw a lot of it looked like a lot of guys that hadn't played together before. And
But
I said it looked like a lot of guys that hadn't played together before because it was a lot of guys that haven't played together before.
Right.
You know, I mean, the second period, late in the second period and into the third period, I mean, I saw guys running into each other. I mean, it got a little bit loose there.
Yeah.
As Minnesota got better, we got worse.
Right. Minnesota, just after that second goal, they had like a lot of confidence, and they started taking it to us.
Yeah.
Where, you know, in the beginning, you know, even when it was 1-0, we were still taking it to them.
Yep.
So
is what it is. We lose game 1.
Yeah.
I'm good. You're good. We're good. What do we got?
Winnipeg, Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
Saturday afternoon.
I'll have very low expectations for that game.
Bro, we got to win that game. The next games after that are New Jersey and then Toronto. We need 2 points on Saturday. You know.
By the way, our record versus Minnesota was like 18-9-1.
Yeah, we don't just.
So
it was a rough assignment for opening night.
We've not had the greatest of luck against Minnesota at Minnesota.
Right.
Their home opener.
Yeah, it's a bit of an odd opening to the schedule. 3 on the road. We haven't seen that around here in a long time.
Yeah.
At this point, give me 3 points out of Winnipeg and New Jersey and get the hell home and beat the crap out of the Leafs.
I want to ask the chat, doesn't Kaprizov remind you of Pavel Bure? I'd like to hear your guys' opinions on that. Just throwing that out there from, you know, from space. He's a really good player, very fast and good hockey IQ. But he always seems to be on the ice. He's another one of those Kucherov guys.
Right.
Where, you know, every time you're looking down on the ice, he's there.
Yep.
So, anyway, we got goalied last night.
Yeah, it is what it is. All right, everybody. Appreciate everybody coming out with us this morning. Now, Sunday morning, right? We'll do it Sunday morning because the game Saturday. So we'll be there. Same time, same place. All right, guys. Well, we got to get it going on Saturday. Give me some goals. We'll be happy. We need to score some goals.
Yeah, 4-goal Bob.
But it would. Yeah, but last night it would have. I mean, 2 goals would have gotten us a point. Jeez. So,
that Mackey shot goes in. That game. Whole you know, atmosphere of the game changes.
Yep. Absolutely.
And it would have been great. You know, first goal of the 30th anniversary season.
I know.
By this kid. This kid's good.
Yep, he's good. He's here to stay. Absolutely. All right, everybody. Appreciate the support. Go enjoy your day. And Stu and I see you again in a couple days.